They see my trips and everything. Yeah, you're always traveling, you're balling. Me, I'll just quickly tell them, see, it's work. Oh.
This is work,
it's work. If you see me on vacation, just know that I still have my laptop, I still have my iPad, I have everything, and I'm working. Hey there, welcome to Sabi Cruise, the podcast where real talk meets real life. I'm Bisola, your host and soft life correspondent. Every other week, we get into honest, unfiltered conversations about life, money matters, adulthood, and all things in between. If you're all about that soft life with sense, you're in the right place. So hit that subscribe or follow button and let's cruise into today's episode. So Mimi, what's your summary of today's conversation? What did we talk about?
We talked about a lot of things, but first, make sure you know your situation before you leave Nigeria. Also understand that Jakba and Sakba is a thing. You should also learn to monetize other skills that you have aside just looking for a job when you get here.
Add something.
Societal pressure or somebody going into debt because someone did something.
Or social media.
Or even in real life is not an excuse for you to be irresponsible. Like I said, if someone bought a car, it's not indirect or even direct pressure on me to go and do the same. So at the end of the day, just be yourself, know your goals, understand what is important to you. Even if you regret your moves, at least you know that these were your decisions.
Like you can live. It's something that you can live with. Yeah. The conversation was very, very interesting. I believe you're going to enjoy. So enjoy watching. Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Sabi Cruise podcast. Today I have a beautiful guest here. And if you're just seeing it for the very first time, my name is Bisola Queen and I'll be your host for today's episode. My guest here is Mimi Ojieh. She is a digital marketing specialist who has helped thousands of immigrants become better versions of themselves and make money while doing so. So today, Mimi, I want you to introduce yourself the proper way because I feel like I just did a brief introduction.
You've started everything. You know me, I don't like long talk. My name is Mimi Ojieh. I'm a full-time content creator. I'm into digital marketing, affiliate marketing. I'm a content coach, and what else? I just teach people how to monetize their knowledge, basically, and that's it. I believe everyone has something that they can monetize. Like you're knowledgeable enough, there's something you know that can be monetized, and that knowledge is what I try to help people. Yeah,
that is really good. I love that you are helping people see something inside of them that they can monetize. Let's actually start with that. How do you address, or what would be your advice for people that feel like they don't have any skill set?
I see that all the time. People will DM me and say, Mimi, I like what you're doing, but I don't know anything. Or I don't know anything is even different from I don't know where to start. But I have a lot of people that come to me and say, but I don't know anything. All this online thing, I don't know anything. And I don't think so. You know, these days, content can be anything. Someone is sweeping their house and is showing you how to clean your own,
folding their laundry.
Yeah, and it's content. So it's not possible. Even I've seen people say, I'm a single mom. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't have any skill. I said, raising a child is a skill.
It's a skill, yeah.
You know? A lot of people do content on parenting or just raising a toddler. It's difficult enough. It's not possible. So oftentimes what I've noticed is that the thing that you know how to do, you commonize because you know how to do it. So it comes easy for you.
And you think that everybody knows how to.
Exactly. So one example I always give is this gentleman who came to me and said, Mimi, I like what you're doing. I don't have any skill at all. And during the course of our consultation, I said, so what do you do on a day-to-day? He said, I just go to work. I said, so when you get to work, what do you do? He started to explain his day-to-day, and then we got to the point where he said, Excel. And I said, you use Excel at work? I said, there are a lot of people who do not know how to use Excel. Can you teach people? He said, I've been using Excel for over 10 years. And I've been how long? I said, do you know how to, if somebody wants to learn the skill from you? He said, yes, he can. But who would pay for that? The YouTube is there now. I said, this is part of the problem.
That people have it.
Exactly. So long story short, we packaged it. He started charging 30,000 for training, for a group training.
Wow.
And he had his first 30 students on his first
class.
Yeah.
Wow. So he got 30 students in his first class.
Yeah.
I'm glad he helped him identify that skill. Go girl. We're doing the Lord's work over here. Would you say your immigration journey to Canada or moving abroad, did it impact your knowledge or you being able to identify yourself as a digital marketer to coach people in any way?
Not really, but I think being in this environment helped me grow faster. Because I've always been, before I moved here, I was creating content, but I was just on YouTube. And because I also had a 9 to 5, I was not able to create content full time the way I wanted to. And so I was always doing that, but moving to Canada and seeing the work condition, I don't like, people see me on social media, they think I'm social. I don't like leaving my house. And so the fact that I had to now enter the snow, it gets crazy here in Calgary. When it's winter, I just didn't want that life for myself. So I felt like there has to be a better way to make money. Like I don't have to go into the snow
every time.
Yeah, and I do my job at the time as a project manager. I have to be at work by 7. And here during winter, 7 a.m. is still as dark as anything. So I'm just like, God, there has to be a better way. And I was new then, so the cold was crazy for me as someone who was experiencing that level of cold for the first time. So that forced me to think beyond, okay, don't just do YouTube as a part-time. Do this, try and find how this would work and explore that option. So that forced me. So I was saying, being in Canada, some of you kind of had
conditioned your mind to help you discover that part of you, right? You probably wouldn't have discovered.
Right.
That's really tea. That makes sense. Cheers to that, girl. All right, so I want us to discuss something really interesting. It's been trending over the years, even quite recently as well. Is like the wave of Japa, of people moving abroad, immigrants, and also like the Sapa as well abroad. Right. Some people feel like Sapa doesn't exist. Some people feel like Japa is a scam and all of that. So if you are hearing of Sapa or Japa for the very first time, don't worry, I'm going to tell you all about this. Sapa is, that's how it's Japa. Japa is basically someone that immigrates, or maybe the way, a massive influx of immigration to a new country or a new destination. Right. Think about it like people from, let's say, low-income countries or developing countries, they tend to move to well-developed countries in search of greener pastures or more opportunities and all of that. And in Nigeria, there was a time where, I'm Nigerian, she's Nigerian as well. In Nigeria, there was a time where there was this huge wave where it just seemed like the whole entire community and conversations that you have with people, friends, and everyone in your circle just seems like everybody wanted to japa, they wanted to elope and move abroad. Right. And it became a thing. Then we start the word or the terminology japa came about. Then we also have Sapa. Sapa means, what does Sapa mean?
It's like you're going through life. You're not broke, but maybe you're not even a broke. You're broke at moments, but it will soon be over.
So it's basically like you are struggling with
temporary situation
where you are struggling financially and with life in general.
You know, Sapa can be doing you, but it's not like you are completely out of resources.
You're getting close.
Or they hope that you're about to just hit the resources that you need. Mama, it's only in Nigerian.
I don't understand. That's true. So there's this pressure that those immigrants that move abroad usually have when it comes to finances, supporting their loved one back home, and just even friends and family. There's this perception that people have that when you move abroad, life is perfect, life is sweet over there, and there is no Sapa, or people don't experience being broke, so to say. And it's now a thing where societal expectation, basically, where people have this expectation that, once you move abroad, like, your life is good, you have to send money back home and you have to do certain type of thing. Even to impress people here, people are not even getting into debt just because they want to fulfill or live a certain.
I don't know who those people are.
They are there because I see messages all the time. People ask me how, they tell me how they get into X amount of credit card debt and all of these things, and it's like, wow, how do we get here? And you start to unpack and have conversations.
No, I don't believe in those things. Like, I don't believe someone made you put yourself into pressure. I don't believe in those things. I feel like sometimes those people that do that, they do that and tell them that, it's societal pressure, it's peer pressure, or it's what is. Nobody made you do anything. You wanted to live that life.
I agree.
You wanted to buy those things that you could not afford, and then you will not put it at, because how do you even say someone else made you do something? Let's say you and I moved to Canada at the same time, right? And a couple of months down the line, I buy a new Mercedes car. And maybe 1 year, less than 1 year, I buy a house, but we moved at the same time. My action, the things that I've decided to buy for myself, is not in any way, shape, or form a direct attack on you to spend money that you do not have. Because you don't know if my family gave me money.
True.
You don't know if my father left wealth for me. You don't know if the person I've worked, some people are not moving.
They made money back home.
Some people are rich back home before they got. Some people I moved from Dubai to the States. So I wasn't even like someone who was not earning money before I met. But we can come the same month. Does not mean you don't know what that person has in their bank. So I don't think anybody made you do anything. In fact, I can
yourself do it.
Yeah, I can buy a brand new car the following week. It's not, you don't know what is my account. But what people do, especially in our community, is that say, oh, the pressure. Nobody pressured you. I don't want to believe that there's a single person that will come to you with screen and say, hey, change your car.
Like why?
Like I don't think
if you don't like people have told me some things before. It's mostly friends. They'll be like, oh, this is your hair, you need to retire it or something like that. Like you need to retire.
Well, those are like or those are like you said, your friends.
Yeah. Random stranger online cannot, even if you're a random stranger and you send me that kind of message or you send it on my comment, it's like, why you need to make a decision in my life?
And when your friend even says that, because they are your friend, you understand they are not talking from a place of trying to put you on.
It's just like your phone, like, oh, and just like, I don't believe it. That's a conversation. I don't take it personally because also I could say something to my friend as well that just like me making a commentary. It doesn't
This is the credit society where we are not used to. So once you come and you have access to funds, you forget for a minute that you're the one that will pay back whatever you're spending.
True.
But I can't remember. My friends drive the cars. I don't even have a personal car, but you can't put me under any pressure
to buy any car that I'm not ready for.
But I'm happy because anytime we're going somewhere, you carry me.
Do you feel like social media adds more to the pressure that people are having when it comes to like finances or spending money or like a certain kind of lifestyle?
Still, I beg to differ. Unpopular opinion, because everyone say, oh, social media, social pressure. Nah, if I don't have money, you can't make me spend it.
Yeah, I think that you're coming from a place of discipline where you as an individual, personal discipline.
How can you be broke and not be disciplined at the same time?
No, there are people that they are broke and they don't have discipline.
Okay, so that's not social media problem.
That's a new problem.
Because if you had to go by everything you see on social media, what would you know? What is that one thing that you can't find on social media?
True. But it's just like maybe they've not gotten to that point where they realize that, okay, there's something that needs to be done with their finances. Maybe sometimes people make money, they spend, they have not realized that, okay, like they're spending more than they're earning. They have not clocked it yet.
That is not social media problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. I love that.
That is not. I'm so sorry because we hide under this excuse. Social media, peer pressure. It is not social media. If I am spending more than what I earn, that is not Instagram problem. That is not TikTok.
Nobody forced you to do it.
Do you understand? It just means I don't have the intelligence and self-control to control my finances. And you're not going to learn that on social media. In fact, you can even learn that on social media. You can. There are a lot of content online.
I mean, you
do content. So social media did not make them learn how to manage their wealth.
The social media is showing them the spending parts.
And somehow they just removed all the parts that shows you how to make money.
People hear what they want to hear.
And so that's the problem. It's a you problem. It's not a social media problem.
True.
Because that same social media is turning people into millionaires. And social media is teaching people how to monetize skill. You are teaching people how to do investments. Social media is the reason why you go on speaking engagements. You're working with financial institutions. Right, yeah. So you decided to go to the part where and I love good things. I like spending my money on good stuff. But it's not because social media made me.
Because you want money to be able to achieve the lifestyle that you desire or that you crave for. And I completely agree with you. Same thing for me. I love to travel. I love to do new things, experience new culture and stuff. And I know that I need money to be able to afford that lifestyle.
Right.
So how do I make that money? I need to put in the work. I'm not spending my money on unnecessary things that doesn't matter. If somebody tells me they don't like my hair or my clothes or my wig or my shoe or whatever, that's your cup of tea. I'm spending my money on things that actually give me joy, happiness, and fulfillment. So it doesn't really matter what you feel about it.
Right.
If you have ever thought, I want to make more money, but I don't know where to start, then listen up. I've created different online programs where I teach you how to earn more, save smarter, and grow your income without the fluff. From learning the right side hustles to content creation, or maybe you want to learn investing or join my exclusive community, Smart Money Group. I've built out practical programs that meet you where you are. You'll find options like Creator Income Accelerator, Investing Simplified, Smart Money Group, and the e-learning course for folks who wants to do it at their own pace. Everything is designed to help you multiply your skills and your income. If you're serious about taking control of your finances, head over to smartmoneymastery.co and choose your path today. Let's get back into the episode. Yeah, so let's go back to like this jackpot matter and this like my issue. Do you feel like people have like financial pressure when they go back, when they are abroad?
I think I feel like everything I'm going to say in this podcast is going to be the other way. I think people put those pressure on themselves.
Okay.
I think people do have pressure, but they put it on themselves. But we like to say, oh, it's our family back home, it's our friends back. Nobody, no, you put it on yourself. You know why? If you do not give the impression that you are picking money on the floor here, I'm telling you, if you call someone your family, these are people who would care about you. They care about your well-being and all of that. So you can't just move. And I'm a big fan of helping my own family the best way I can. I try my best, but I have never given the impression that I have all my life figured out, so that you don't come and demand for things I cannot afford.
Oh dear.
Then another thing is, apart from you giving the view, I just moved to Canada, you are calling everybody back home, you've changed your phone, meanwhile you're paying for it monthly. You've changed your car, but you're paying for it monthly. Back home, everything you pay for it once. If you buy a house, it's cash. If you buy a car, it's cash. If you buy a phone, it's cash. Here, everything you are financing. Yet, you don't keep your mouth shut. You're giving the impression that you are very rich.
But the latest color,
my brother tells me or is showing me that they are rich or they are doing well. Why won't I ask for help?
Exactly.
And the other part why I say people put pressure on themselves, because I'm a big fan of helping your family. At the end of the day, what are you making money for if you can't support family and friends with it, right?
Yeah.
But how about you have a budget of what is convenient for you? If it's a monthly basis, let's say for example, every month you can conveniently take 50k out of your earnings to help out with whoever needs help, right? Once 50k is over, every other help should wait till the next month where you
that's exactly the same advice I usually give when people come to me for like tips on how to manage their finances, and like some of the conversation is surrounding around dealing with black taxes and everything. I always tell them, like, if you know that you have to give people money every single month, right, allocate a specific amount of your money, well, that's called every month. And once you reach that budget, that amount, that you know that, okay, everybody waits the following month. I don't have the capacity this month, I can do it next month. But I had a question for you. Right. How will you deal with a situation like that when it comes to like a parent?
So again, it's the same thing. Unless it's like a matter of life and death situation, like someone needs surgery and like it's so urgent or something, like we don't have emergencies, right? So we're not talking about emergency situations here. We're talking like everyday thing. Your parent needs something from me. My parent also knows that I earn per month. My parents do not want me to steal and go to jail. So even if I feel like my own parents are putting me under pressure because they're my parents, I am free enough to tell them like so this is my earning pattern. I am paid monthly. I can help you monthly. And if I have not been the kind of child that promises or like if I've always given, like, oh, every month, and this is one thing that I even tell, apart from, I just say, put the person on a monthly salary. Parents, they'll get enough. I feel like for parents, they've done enough for you. Put it on. I don't think you want it to be too much. That's also another thing. What's every table for it that you can allocate every single month to give it to them so that they're taking care of themselves with that. And if maybe depending on your family situation, you feel like, or even your own financial situation, because some people, they're not even working. Some people, they're in school. Right. So if they don't have all of these things together and you cannot continuously support every single month, maybe those one-off cases where you can just give what you can afford. But you see, I find that parents, they are very understanding. From my own experience, people use like their parents as excuse or the reason why they have to always send money back home or support people. However, I find that parents, like you said, are very, very understanding. If you don't have the capacity, they understand. The people that are not, those uncles, those aunties, those people that you've not seen them since you were 15 years old,
those are the ones that have this expectation, or they reach out to you for support and they tell you, and they'll even use the money. Some of them want to use the money to go do one party.
Even at that, it's still your fault.
It's your fault,
Not your uncle's fault.
it's your fault, not your auntie. It's your fault because you can actually convenient.
One thing I love is distance. You are not even in the same. You know how many 1,000 kilometers separates me and you? You can't put me under pressure. If my uncle that is thousands of kilometers away from me
He's telling me,
telling me something that you won't hear from me. It's as simple as that. Maybe no uncle can constantly put me under pressure. So this is my own. I feel like there's this joy when you are able to help family. I don't know. Like I'm always happy when I'm able to solve it.
or friends.
I love it. But I'm not going to do anything that is not convenient for me.
Like setting a boundary where you know what is comfortable for you and doesn't make you
You
feel.
still ask that come and say now. I don't.
Yeah.
And nothing will happen. They won't die. Nothing.
Yeah. And also being able to just set boundaries and expectation. Like you said, like if you have not given them the impression that, oh, we're living a flamboyant, like your life is all perfect, then you'll be able to get them to understand like, hey, this is the situation. For me, for example, because I travel a lot, I have friends and family that they see my trips and everything.
Yeah,
we're always traveling. You're balling. Me, I'll just quickly tell them, see, it's work. Oh.
This is work. Is that?
It's work. If you see me on vacation, just know that I still have my laptop. I still have my iPad. I have everything. And I'm working. I'm creating content. I'm doing my sessions. I'm doing training. I'm doing everything. The only thing is I'm working from a new location.
I mean, here you are in a different province, right?
A different place. And I'm also shooting. Like, so it's work. Don't just see me traveling and feel like I'm always just chilling. If that's
The travel is what is paying
the bills, do you get? If sometimes I won't travel, brands sponsor me on trips and everything. You think when a brand will pay me to go on a location, they'll bring you to the hotel and everything, and like I'm just there chilling and eating. It's not just that.
and drinking wine.
Though it's a privilege, I actually acknowledge that it's a privilege to have the opportunity to be taken on a trip or sponsored and everything. I even get paid for it. It's a privilege. No, it's also. However, it's also work, right? I'm putting in the work. I'm there showing up and everything. So don't just assume that because she's always traveling, she's living this kind of certain type of lifestyle that like her life is perfect and all rosy. Or you can come anytime of day to ask for financial support. Over here, we plan our finances. It's not just on the whim or without proper structure. And it's like you said, just rush or no. We don't do that one. We enter the budget or the plan for the coming month.
Yeah, my last hope. All those you are my last hope. That one does not work.
Or, you know, the one that also is funny to me, those random strangers on the internet. Have you ever gotten months like that?
Yes, of course. I mean, I have a large following, so it's normal. But unfortunately, every time I see a request from a random person, I'm always, even when I'm not always moved to help, but there's also this guilt that I feel right afterward because I don't know if you're telling the truth or you're lying. So because a lot of people have lied, a lot of people lie. In fact, some of these people that create all these pages just to beg, I think the consequence of what they do is that when someone genuinely needs help, you don't know how to differentiate, unfortunately. But I don't answer random requests. I do giveaways on my own term, and I feel like whoever God wants my money to go to solve any need they have, the money goes to them.
Okay, not following me, you gotta follow her, so you be a part of the giveaway.
It's not every time.
It's not every time. I reach your next milestone, 300k, right? Yeah. So when she reaches her next milestone, 300k. There's no pressure.
It's not only money. Sometimes I do free training giveaways. So yeah, it's always.
I love that. That's actually my favorite way to reward my audience. When I reach 50k subscribers on YouTube, I ask my followers like, oh, what giveaway or what gift would you like?
Right.
And I give different options. Like there was cash, there was like a training, there was membership in my community. I had like 3 top gifts, and I asked people to vote in the community section. And less people voted for money.
Right.
And I was surprised because how much you want? I thought money was going to be more, but the most votes was to get access to my community for 1 year. And I was like, wow, that's my smart money move. Like, also you get access opportunity to learn for like a whole entire year.
I'll choose mentorship and access. Well, how much do you want?
How much you are giving me? Exactly. The money would finish. But then, some people now, they need that money in that moment. And you know what? I just thought about something. I've also been in that situation, where a random stranger reached out to me for financial support. And Our own was like, oh, she's a student, she's struggling to pay her school fees, and she needed help with raising funds. At first, I ignored it. Then she sent another message. She went on my ask me anything to send me question again. And she still sent it. I kept on sending. Then at some point, she said she was going to KMS. I'm going to just say KMS because I don't know. She's going to end, on her life herself. I think that's the better way to word it.
Okay.
She said she was going to unalive herself because of it. I was so pissed. I immediately called her. I'm not the kind of person I'll call anybody on Instagram. In fact, it's people that don't even talk in my phone. I was so pissed that why would you say that? Like, that's so irresponsible and everything. That why would you even be? Are you threatening me?
What's the that action and it worked?
It was actually. It honestly worked. I talked about it later on. But to be fair, I ended up giving her because I spoke to her and so on. It worked. But that's something that. After that incident, I was just like, no, never. The reason I called her was because of what she said. That she was going to unalive herself, and I was just like, I don't want any situation where someone will
not your family member. Even if you're about to unalive yourself, you think that it's me that you've never met.
No,
I'll
hold you back.
Do you not have any problems?
I know what's funny. After I got that message late in the night, but I didn't respond. Then in the morning, I started to have I was having worries. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was just overnight in my sleep, but it was just me overthinking. I just felt like, what if this person is being for real? What if this is the case? Like, how I just had to think about it. I said,
someone really thinks that, nothing could have happened.
God would be like, but I'm blessing you so that you can reward somebody else. You can do this, you can do that. And all you had to do was just give this person this, and you just left the person to end their life. And so I just started to think about it. It was in the morning, it was 7 a.m. I was on my way to the gym when I blasted her phone with 3 calls. Like, I called her first time, she didn't pay. Called her second time, like, why would you do that? I was so pissed. And he now started explaining that situation. She was not crying. So I feel like it was that tear that actually got to me, not necessarily the message that she said.
Or maybe I feel like this is one thing I feel. Every money that I have, I feel like if somehow it leaves my hand and comes to yours, God wanted it that way. Like, it's not everybody that, like, a lot of people send requests, right? Someone else could have said the same thing and you will not be, I will not be like, yeah. But the fact that you were restless, you thought about it throughout the night, like, why would this person say this? Maybe God truly wanted you to help.
It's possible. It's actually possible, because now what made me ended up giving up, because I was like, the fact that this person sent me a message last night, and I saw that message last night, I didn't respond. I wasn't thinking anything about it, man. But throughout, when in my sleep, I could consciously see myself remembering it, and in the morning, I was still remembering it again. On my way to the gym, I just said, let me just call this girl. Like, I sent her a message, she didn't respond. I was like, no, I'm not even going to just sit here waiting for you to respond, because I have things to do, and if I get off this app, I'm not going to remember anymore. So I gave her a call. The first time, the second time she didn't pick, then the third time she not picked, and I was like, why would you do that? And she was now apologizing that she was just going through it, that she just didn't know what to do again. She's frustrated. So I had to explain all that situation and everything. She also sent me receipts as well. She sent me like tuition receipts, a debt, a balance. She sent me everything. So I feel like all of those things added up to why I ended up giving her the money. But I just told myself, God, please, except if there is going to be somebody else you want to use me to bless, please make it clearer to me. I don't want any form of confusion. I don't want people to start abusing gymnastics. Because it's doing gymnastics. No, I don't want to. And it's so mentally stressful. There are people that will even ask me to borrow them money. It's like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Why will you ask me to borrow you money?
But I barely get anybody asking me to borrow money.
People ask me to borrow you.
Yeah, family. Yeah. Therefore, people. Baby, my face is strong.
I feel like my face is strong too. People ask you, say, I'll borrow me, I'll refer. I'm like, I don't even know you. I don't know your name. How will you think? Some people send me emails. They send me emails. They send me paragraphs. They send me.
God bless for my follower. You guys are amazing. And I'm not experiencing those things. Definitely not me.
Now that we have identified like some of these financial issues that people are having, spending money to impress, even getting into debt and on so many other things, even school fees, asking for money, sending money for support back home. I think there's something that needs to be said about being able to make ends meet while you're abroad, and so that you can elevate some of those financial pressure or Sapa that you're going through while you are an immigrant in a new destination or I want to first engage you before I share my thoughts. What are those things that comes to mind for you when it comes to immigrants to be able to attain their financial goal, or be able to, make more money so that they can live their soccer baby girl life? Because for me, money is for enjoyment. And let me just say that even though I talk about money, I talk about investment, I talk about all these things a lot, money is for enjoyment. It's meant to give you a better, happy, and fulfilling life, and not just for you to make it. So how do you make that money so that you can live a better and fulfilling life? If you are not making enough from your job, what other alternative would you suggest?
I would say leverage your transferable skill, because I mean, for you to get the job you're doing, it means you are not like you have some form of skill. If you are not restricted to like working for one employer, you know, and there are so many other things that and the best one I can actually tell you is to become a content creator. I know people who say, oh, will everybody become a content creator? Yes, doctors are content creators. No,
Someone said online, I think it was, I don't know if it was you or someone else. Someone said like, you're too broke to be, or to be shy. Exactly. You're too broke to be shy. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, you're too broke. Like, just build any form of community.
Start something.
People are turning into millionaires just because they've got, let's paint this scenario. You might not do content forever, right? Let's say tomorrow is stop paying, or money is no longer going to flow the way it is now. What happens is that I can decide to say, you know what, I now want to start manufacturing or producing this. Yeah. I already have 300,000 eyeballs that would
buy,
look at them, that would just look at it. Let's assume 1% patronize me every day.
That's more than enough cost. And this is so true, because even for me as well, my travel brand Sabi Enjoy, we're going on our first group trip in August in a couple of weeks. And I would say 95% of the people that are traveling with us, they came from my social media. They came from people that have been following me. They've been watching my trips and everything, and they want to travel with me.
Right.
So it's like, knowingly or unknowingly, I've been able to build a community of people that they want to experience things together with me. They want to travel with me. And they just trust that, oh yeah, if I travel with Bisola, I'll be able to get a high quality travel experience that I'm hoping for.
Right.
And this wasn't even something that I was intentionally building. So now I can actually start another business entirely, even if it's not relating to travel or anything like the hair that you talked about. I can still know that I can start another business and I'll have a target customer base or a customer base.
And you know what's funny? When you started traveling, I'm sure you didn't even know that there will be people who are interested in traveling with you. And that's the thing. I tell people this as well. People say, well, how did you become a content coach? I didn't start Instagram because I wanted to coach you. I was just doing my own thing. And people say, oh, I like what you're doing. Do you teach? That's how we created a product. Our service around that.
So you just create a product around the problem. So actually, we've shared two things. One was like start content, like become a content creator or share your experience online. Two is identify the problems that people are having and create a solution around it. For her, people are always sending messages asking like, hey, do you teach, do you coach? I like your page and all of these things. And instead, she's just like, you know what? Let me turn it into a product, right? And that's how she created another new avenue stream or income stream.
Because sometimes what you are good at, self, you might not know. I good at telling stories and just teaching people things for free online. But people are saying beyond that. I'm saying, I like yours. I have people who have my exact studio set up as I speak to you. You know, things you didn't even think about. The chair that I have on my, like the chair that I have, so much I can't count how many people have purchased that chair because they see there. So you can start anything thinking you're just doing it for you. But how you know other businesses that you can build around that thing is when people start asking, you know, oh, do you do this? Oh, you just know I'm traveling for myself.
I started posting my travel content just for funsies, like, oh, and I started from a trip that I went to Dubai. I went to Dubai in December with my family and my sibling and everything, and we just made a lot of videos. So TikTok was very, very new there. It was just right after COVID. So there were a lot of all those TikTok dances and TikTok trends that you do on vacation. So my sister and I had saved a lot of those travel videos. And when we got to Dubai, we made a lot of those videos and we posted them. And people were like, oh, more videos, more Dubai videos. And I started posting them. And eventually, I started posting more and more travel videos. Look at me now. I started a travel company without even planning it. And this was just like 3 years down the line or 4 years down the line.
You know, if you didn't travel, you can't convince anyone to go and traveling.
Exactly. Quick break from the convo, because if you have been dreaming about traveling, making new connections, or living your best life without blowing the bank, then I would love to invite you for an experience with Sabi Enjoy. Sabi Enjoy is my travel brand that focuses on creating travel experiences for your enjoyment. We create unforgettable group trips, private escape, custom itinerary, and our very own Sabi experiences. So if you are tired of waiting to travel with your friends, or you don't want to deal with the stress of planning trips, don't worry, Sabi Enjoy has got you covered. We are all about helping you travel more, stress less, and feel deeply connected along the way. The best part is we also offer payment plans for your convenience. How cool is that? Head over to sabienjoy.com to join any of our experiences. Now let's get back to the show. Now content has turned into another form of business for me. And I also know that there are people that they feel like, oh, they value their privacy, they don't want to show their face online, or they don't want to do certain things. These days, there are a bunch of AI tools that you can use to create content without even being the face behind the brand. There are some businesses, there are some social media pages that you see their content today, and you don't even know who owns those pages. And you still follow their...
I have faceless pages.
Yes, exactly. Me, so I also have faceless pages, but I no longer really pursue or post on them as much. But like these days, you can create content without even showing your face, without being the face of the brand. You can use AI tools. It's a whole lot easier now than ever. And as time goes on, every single one of us need to have like a personal brand, somewhere, that something that you can call your own. Either you're building your LinkedIn page, or you're building your Instagram page, or you're building your anything that you can own on the internet, just having a little piece of real estate on the internet. I also always recommend, like, you can, if you are someone that you don't like to make videos, or you don't like to edit, that's not a skill that you feel like you have, even though I believe you can always learn, because I didn't know how to edit videos yet. Like, for the longest time I had to learn. Even though I believe you can learn, you can also be a content creator, but you are focusing on text-based content. There are people that is killing it on threads. I know people that are making the bank just using threads. There's Twitter as well. There's LinkedIn. LinkedIn is targeted towards professionals. So you can focus on text-based content and still build your own audience and your community and share your knowledge and expertise. Personally, I recommend video content. So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Yeah. However, if you don't want to use AI, you don't want to show your face, you don't want to use faceless marketing or faceless accounts, you can do text-based. There's a plethora of options for you, and you never can imagine how much opportunities that could bring for you.
I wanted to just add this, that the easiest way for you to make money online actually is have a service or an offer. Let there be something that someone can reach out to you and say, hey, how much do you charge for this? Like, there's something, you're not just creating content and recording videos, you know, like one of the person that I collaborate with right now, he runs ads. When it comes to running Facebook ads, Google ads, you know, TikTok ad is good. This guy is good. Things like this, for example, you know, like you have to go to university. 3 hours, 6 hours, you've learned how to run ads. And there are a lot of business owners who do not know how to. So also you have your own agency on how to run ads. That's just one. Graphic design, you know?
Me, for the longest time, I was looking for someone that could help me design YouTube thumbnails, because it was stressing me out every single time. And like, if I had someone that was ready,
marketing agency,
so even though they're collecting $10, I was going to have been paid.
Marketing, video editing. There are so many things that people will say, hey, I want to do this. How much are you charging for that? That's the best content you can do. And so for this guy, he knows how to run ads, all types of ads. And so business owners, both online and offline, that want to run adverts will come and meet him and say, hey, I'd like to use your service. How much do you charge for? He's creating content to highlight the fact that he's knowledgeable when it comes to ads. So I feel like, you know, Nigeria will say, go and learn work. These days, you can learn work that is not...
physical, and it's still learning work. Actually, it's still learning work, because there are so many people that learn how to make hair on YouTube.
Exactly.
So it's still learning work, and you can also even still teach other people that want to learn how to make hair. I even watch makeup tutorials a lot. I watch videos on how to lay your edges, how to style your this and that. So all of those things, they are still working.
Look at this one. There's even an actual thing. But what if you are just learning? If I'm to run ads for you,
it's still work.
It's work, but I'm saying service based. So we are used to having, for example, we are selling these glasses, right? And we've got 10 of them. And then we sell 10 of them, and then we remove the cost of buying it, and then we'll see our profits. Service-based business is not well preached enough in our community. You know, where look at marketing agencies, look at content media agencies, like, that manages content for other people. Social media pages for other people. Look at, you know, I just mentioned this particular. Look at digital marketing agencies.
Even video
digital products. Are you shipping anything to anybody?
No.
But you can make more money than someone who is literally shipping something that can either expire.
The profit margin is higher for digital services, and that's one thing I love. But
and anything can be a digital product.
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly. So if you're someone out there that you're listening to this or you're watching this and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't have any skill or anything, you do have a skill inside of you. And it's also completely okay to learn something new just for the sake of being able to monetize that skill. When I started content creation, I was just sharing. I had no idea that I was even learning. I had no idea that I was learning how to edit videos.
That's what being content.
So in time, you get better at this thing, and now you are able to monetize it. If you also want to learn something like maybe ads, running ads or something, or even just managing social media pages or becoming a virtual assistant, these are skills that you can actually intentionally learn, of course, so that you can make extra money. And the whole point of you making extra money, as far as me I'm concerned, is so that you can live a better life and be able to support your friends and family back home. Be able to also give yourself that soft dream life that you always imagined for yourself. Let's move over to the next segment of this session. So moving on to the cruise control segment of this podcast, this is where we read letters from listeners. So if you have any burning questions or you have any dilemmas you're going through, the link will be in the description so that you can send yours over and we can discuss it here to give you advice, tips or recommendations on how you can proceed or address whatever issues you're having. So from right now, I have questions someone sent to me back like a couple of months back on Instagram, and I just wanted us to discuss it because I feel like it's very relevant to this topic that we're talking about. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and read it here. I low-key regret moving to Canada. Feels like my life hit a major setback and I'm kind of stuck. I spent a lot of money on my immigration, gave up everything I had going, only to start afresh with nothing. The Japa dream is somewhat of a scam, if we're being honest.
Gang. I don't like giving advice.
I have a lot to say about this one. Because first of all, this person said, my life hit a major setback and I'm kind of stuck. I spent all my money on immigration. I gave up everything, only to start afresh with nothing. And it feels like he has been scammed.
Okay.
Because of moving to Canada. First of all, Japa is not for everybody. Okay. So let me start with that. Moving abroad or starting a new life because let's be real, like it is very hard for you to move to a new country where you know nobody. Like you said, it was cold. You had to deal with all of these things in a dark weather, like 7 a.m. It's still pitch black outside in winter, right? So let's be real, it's not for everybody. So there's that part, right? And there's also the part that you need to also assess your own individual situation. What was your life like back home? For me, my life was actually really good when I was living in Nigeria. Though I still decided to move. I was the first person among all of my friends and my people in my circle that decided to move abroad. And where was it? We're all making money. We're all doing really good. But I still decided that I wanted to move because I could see that I had greater potential. I had more inside of me and I wanted to explore and I wanted to express and see. So I decided to leave everything behind and chase better opportunities. Not because I wasn't doing well enough, but I felt like there was more for me out there. If I decided to stay in Nigeria, I would still be financially okay. I would still be fine, right? But I just felt in Nigeria, money is not even enough. You get to that point where you realize that the amount of money that you're earning at some point is nothing, depending on the kind of issues that can come up while you're living in Nigeria.
I think that goes both ways.
It goes both ways. It goes both ways 100% because anything can still happen to you even while you're living here. However,
there are poor people here.
100 beggars on the streets. However, my point is like in a system or an environment that things works, there is lesser risk for you compared to, for example, here the worst that will happen is you go into debt. That's, in my own opinion, that's the worst that can happen. But back home, like things like even with your money, you can't get access to proper healthcare, security, safety.
Is it really true?
It is true though.
Like with your money, you can't get proper healthcare.
Except you want to travel abroad. You can get on hospitals.
No, you're not traveling. Like back home, can you really not get proper healthcare?
You can get good healthcare, but I feel like the healthcare here is much better in my opinion. What do you think about it? Let's talk about we're having a chat. I'm curious, I want to hear.
I mean, no Nigerian will sit down and pretend like there are no problems. Like we know our country and a lot of things needs to improve. Can the healthcare system be better? Absolutely. I also feel like there are hospitals that are the same standard as what you have. Like the only thing we do not have is
911.
No, we do have it on. So for example, here that you have, so there, this is where systems are good, right? Because here you have your insurance. Government is giving you this healthcare insurance to walk into the hospital when you're sick and you get help. Back home, I can't remember. I've been out for a long time, but I don't think we have that national insurance scheme. There are good hospitals, you just have to pay for them. So where the part I didn't agree is like if you have your own money. If you have your own money, right now there are so many hospitals in Nigeria that are
like
so that's
what about things like
yeah.
there's when you're in emergency situation, I can't call now.
I believe is there no 911? I don't know. I don't know. I might have a 911 now.
There's no emergency number that I can. You know, here in Canada, if you have any emergency and you call, they are in your place in 7 minutes.
But you
They start, yes, you pay, but at least they have it.
so like I don't have money for the 911.
Go into debt now. You go into debt.
Your ambulance should move me from here to here. Do you know how much they charge?
You pay. So
It's more than you sleeping in the hospital.
you pay, but at least you know that like you are alive. Then you live to figure out that tomorrow.
Unfortunately, we don't have system. We have to agree.
Yeah.
But not that we don't have so have you not seen that half of the doctors treating you here are not from here either?
True. There are doctors from somewhere else that migrated here.
Yeah, so I barely got into it. Like how many yeah, I don't want to use race, but the doctors I have here, majority of them that treat me
Especially even for black women.
yeah,
Black healthcare something. So yeah.
So unfortunately, we have doctors that the lack of system back home is pushing them to move to. I have a lot of friends that work with the NHS in the UK. They are still Nigerians. Like, just imagine if government, allow that system, like, build. The only part I didn't agree with in terms of healthcare is that if you have money, you have good healthcare in Nigeria. That's one thing I want.
I think also the definition of good is relative, in my opinion.
Standard, like the same healthcare you have here. If you have money, there are so many hospitals that have popped out English. There are so many hospitals that have popped up in the last couple of years that had the same standard. I've seen some in Abuja. I've seen one that one of the banks were financing, like his standard. Even most of those hospitals, you have even foreigners who are the doctors there. I also believe that what do you add? I want to digress a little bit. Look at the beauty industry, healthcare and surgery and all that, plastic. Why do we not have I'm watching a lot of content now where I see people travel from here back to Nigeria to get body done.
Even this medical what's it called? This brows. It's very expensive here. So some people when they go back to Nigeria,
Probably expensive, they do it well.
Exactly. Even makeup, hair, nails, all these things. When people are coming back here, they get all their beauty treatments done because it's cheap.
Yeah, so you see people now travel back to Lagos or Abuja, get their body done and come back in. Because also why, if the healthcare is that bad, why are you leaving first world country to go and get your body done in Nigeria? Apart from cost, there's no way someone who lives here would put their life at risk just because it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's true. I agree. Like I think
Yeah, it's also better.
It depends on also like what kind of treatment as well. It depends on what kinds of treatment.
I mean, we have doctors now. There's one I was watching on TV that moved from the US back to Nigeria to start bone marrow joints.
Oh, I think I saw one for fertility clinic.
Yeah, so most of these people. So again, every country here, even here, we are saying healthcare is good. I have friends that have been on wait lists for more than a year. So you're talking about being good. So
Me, I would just say the healthcare is standard. However, access to healthcare is hard. It's equally hard here. And I don't think it's only in Canada, even the UK as well. Access to healthcare is equally hard. Even though in Canada we believe that we have free healthcare, it is very hard. You could be at emergency for 8 hours. For you to get assigned a family doctor could take months. All of these things also happen. So no doubt, I'm not saying that like the healthcare system or anything here is perfect or it's better. It's just like I feel like it's more accessible here than back home.
This country obviously cares about the people that live here. So you can tell that from the leadership, from the systems in place and all of that. But I feel like every country is struggling with different kind of,
issues.
Yeah, different kind of issue. The only thing I do not like is when we make it sound as if everything is just working well here.
No. Like, I feel like Canada also has if I start to talk,
if you give birth here, the next day you are leaving that bed.
Otherwise you will pay.
Meanwhile, somewhere you sleep, see me asking you like, are you okay? If nothing is wrong with you, you be leaving. So at the end of the day, I feel like if you move to, and this is one thing I always try to respect every place, because this is not the only country I've lived. Like when I was living in Dubai, as it's beautiful. If I have to close my eyes and say, where do you want to live? If it were up to me, I'll just leave.
I feel like I want to be there at some point.
Dubai is so beautiful. It's not like but it came with its own challenges as well. And I feel like even Africa, we immigrants, it's not this jackpot. I feel like jackpot that will happen.
No, people are already jackpot there. Oh, it won't happen already.
Jackpot that will happen. The way it's painted. One thing I know, and I used to tell this to my friends, that Nigeria does not market itself.
True.
So we only talk about the problems in our country, and oftentimes it sounds as if there is no positive because we only highlight the problem in the country. There was a country I went to, is Georgia. You know that Georgia, that Tbilisi, the capital. When I got there, I asked myself that, did I pay my money to travel down here for what? I'm looking at this country. It looks like my village. Like I don't know if it was the city I went to, or the way it was packaged, that the way I saw it on holiday.
Yeah, it was.
On the way in.
What you ordered is different from what you got.
I told myself that if Nigeria should, do you know how many places in Nigeria?
Even on Ireland,
Let's just look at Osun State alone.
the waterfall.
Let's just look at all the uniqueness, that is in Nigeria. Let's put all our...
Noisy minister, they are not doing enough.
We don't market our country. And that's why when you say, for the life of me, if you ask me where I'm from, I don't stutter. I'm Nigerian. I am so proud of that country. But unfortunately, his own unique problem is what is chasing
Everybody to jackpot.
all of us. Unfortunately, I think I've lost my line of thought. I just want to say that we need to market our country better. There are problems, and there are problems here. In fact, when I left Nigeria and I started seeing problems, I'm like, hey, I didn't think there were problems in other places. So we talk about this thing. What about stabbing in the UK? Like, you can have
Look at the US.
Yeah, what
About violence as well.
the day we landed in the US, my first time in the US, from the airport to the house, we got like 5 police alerts warning.
Is it like...
Missing person, someone that was firing. There were
How long was it, right?
from airport to that house, maybe like 30 minutes.
So in 30 minutes, 5 hours.
I'm not joking. Before we left that place, there was no day our phone is not popping up. Maybe it was the state we went to, I don't know. Missing person. Dangerous person on the road. Like,
That's crazy.
at this day in Ghana, you see, when you have to compare that, maybe in 3 years I've got maybe 2.
It's not a lot like that.
So every country, unique problem. I also have friends that have left the UK because of stabbing. It's like the stabbing. Someone will just stab you for what? But we don't. When you are still not scared traveling to those countries, with the amount of shooting that goes on in US, you are not scared going there. Why? Why? Why is what is kidnapping in our country? They are doing the same thing where you're going. Why are you not scared?
100%.
And
100%. So let's go back to, I know you say you don't give advice, but let's go back to give recommendations or tips, suggestions. Because the reason why Mimi says she doesn't give advice is because she doesn't want to, all the reason you don't want anybody to...
it's personal opinion. So
True. So this is our own personal opinion. For me personally, depending on your situation and where you are at, jackpot might have not been the ideal situation for you. I'm talking about this person that we just read their dilemma. Jackpot might have not been the ideal situation for you. If you are feeling like it's a scam, maybe you went, I don't know what your situation was, maybe you borrowed money, maybe I don't know what even led you into it, and you still feel like it's a scam. But then it's not for everybody. For me personally, jackpot has not been a scam. It has been rewarding. It has opened my eyes to more opportunities. I've been able to achieve more of my dreams and aspirations from moving to Canada, and I will still recommend it to anyone that is looking to move. However, you need to also assess your own individual situation. If you are making a lot of money and you feel like, okay, whatever dilemma or troubles that you are having back in Nigeria is not bad enough for you to decide to move, then maybe. And some people age as well. Depending on if you have you are older or you have kids, you might want to assess as well your situation. Like, is it really worth it for me at this age?
yeah, but I don't think if age is not on your side, you have no business living.
100%.
And when I used
Do you have like an age count that you always recommend?
you putting this down, just put someone in trouble.
For me personally, if you ask me, I was going to say, if you're in your 40s, late 40s, if you're in your late 40s, and if you have kids and they're still very young, you might want to consider. But if you have kids and they're already teenagers, just find a way to get the kids to school abroad and just sit back at home. Especially if you have something going for you. If you don't have something going for you and you're in your 40s, you can still move. But I feel like late 40s to 50s,
if nothing is going on for you as 40, late 40s, what do you think will go on for you?
Canada can be the miracle, or UK or US.
How?
Jackpot can be the miracle that change your situation.
How?
It could be.
How now? So there's a difference between maybe you're an expatriate, maybe you're working in one of these big companies and there's a branch here. So as soon as you some of them are.
It's true, how will you get a job at 50?
You're going to be not that the age is the problem. The problem is that at that age you will find it more difficult to even start again.
Okay.
No, you can learn. There are a lot of 50s learning brand new, like learning new things. But something that a 20-something-year-old can just say, you know what, I'll start from zero again. At 50, you can't be thinking I'm starting from zero again. I feel like that is a lot because just life in general at that age, you don't want to just be starting from. You should have been established to a certain extent. Not that the age is the problem. The problem is that you might not want to. Imagine if you're a director where you work and all of a sudden you come here now to feel better. I don't care how long that's. You will look at yourself and compare the image of yourself to your present reality and you start regretting.
And it will make you ask yourself questions like, what is this? What am I?
I've had someone reach out to me and say that, they used to work in top oil company back home and they moved. She cannot even her life in the last 2 years. She just deleted all her social media page. She cannot have, so the shame said, nobody's shaming her.
Is that like shaming her?
And she's asking, what else exactly am I doing here? Also, we're used to convenience. Especially people that are doing well back home, they're used to convenience. You have a driver, you have a chef, you have a nanny, you have a cleaner.
You can't have all of that here.
You come here, you are the cleaner, you are the chef, you are the worker, you are working, you are doing everything. You look at your life.
Taking care of the kids, you are the nanny.
No social life at all. 6 months out of 1 year is you can't even, there's no social life. The remaining 3 months out of the remaining 6 is extremely cold. And then you have 3 months of good weather. So you're like, what am I really doing? And then your kids that you are working now, no help. Because I think for us, money is not the only thing to measure how comfortable you are. A lot of people I know here would do anything to have help, but they don't have it. And back home, you might not even be hiring one, but you have your mom around, aunties, your cousins, your sister you can say, I want to go somewhere, let me drop my child here.
True.
Someone to drop your child for now will charge you $25 per hour to drop that child, to be looking at them. So at the end of the day, it depends on, like you said, look at your situation.
Personal situation.
Then I feel like anybody that needs to jackpot early. Whatever the turnout is, you have time
to correct it, or you go back.
You can go. A lot of people are going back with them. I'm seeing a lot of. Even there's this lady I follow now. She's not even a Nigerian, but she's married to a Nigerian. They were in the US and she just moved back to Nigeria to buy a property. She moved to her family. She's body schooling and homeschooling and so she just moved back. Again, for her to make that decision does not mean you just carry your bag and say, hey, become grandpa, you don't know how much they saved. You don't know if they're citizens, they can go back anytime. You don't know people's situation.
Yeah.
But for her, I'm guessing that whatever her life was back home was better. That was why she could say, I'm regretting moving. But we don't know exactly what the situation or that is, unfortunately. But again, one thing I know is that the fact that you are here, God will somehow correct and make it work for you.
Yeah, I really hope that person is able to get integrated. Also, timing matters. Maybe this person has just moved and in just 6 months they're already frustrated. It's possible.
And this thing you said is true. We always have people who will migrate to another country. What if not been able to achieve 30 years where you were born? You're expecting. Some people will say, I've been in the UK for 5 years and I've not achieved anything. You've been in Nigeria for 28 years.
So when you were born,
you didn't achieve anything. What are you expecting? What kind of magic do you expect to people actually? So unrealistic expectations
could also matter. So depending on how long, give it time.
I feel like a video.
You also feel like it's not for you. It's not it's okay.
I seen a video and all lady said I've been here for 2 years. I could not even change my iPhone.
But you change your iPhone every year, every year.
Take what are you talking about? So
you change your phone every year. Yeah, unrealistic expectation is also a thing. Anyway, let's get into the fun, quick fire question, the rapid fire Q&A, and our Sabi or no Sabi section.
Okay.
I'll ask you a question, then you just respond back to me as quickly as you can, okay? And so, what's your best content tool you cannot live without? My phone. Yeah, I love that. Last time you enjoyed something simple without posting? Or yesterday? Or was it? What did you do?
I just had a very nice meal.
Oh, you had a nice food. Nice. I love that. What did you have? I'm curious.
Beans.
Nice. Okay. What is one money mindset that immigrant needs to get rid of?
That money is hard to make.
And money is hard to make. T, what's your dream city to live and work from for 3 months?
It will be in the Middle East somewhere.
Middle Eastern country. Alright, let's go to the Sabi or no Sabi section.
If the Middle East broad, Qatar, Dubai, and then
oh, so which part of Middle East? Which part of Middle East?
number one will be Dubai,
Dubai,
Dhabi, Qatar,
nice.
Doha.
Morocco? No? Alright, so let's get into the Sabi or no Sabi section. So think of it like, yes, I agree or I don't agree. Sabi, if you agree, like Sabi, yes, correct.
Okay.
Agree. No Sabi is basically nah, you disagree or question mark.
Mm-hmm.
So you calculate the bill even before the waiter drops it.
No.
No Sabi. You immigrate abroad without telling anybody. Sabi or no Sabi?
No Sabi. I told people.
You plan your outfits even if you're not going anywhere.
Nah.
No Sabi.
I ain't paying for that.
You snap every single moment on vacation.
No Sabi.
No Sabi. Cool. You live a lifestyle that you cannot afford. Everything is no Sabi. You like, all right, cool. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this episode of this podcast. Thank you to Mimi for being part of our very first guest on this podcast. This has been a very entertaining and insightful conversation. I've definitely learned a lot from this and perspective and wine. And I hope our listeners have also learned something new from here as well. Please go ahead and follow Mimi on social media as well, and subscribe to the podcast, share it with your friend, and let us know if you have any dilemmas I want us to unpack in another episode. Don't forget to use the link that is below and share them. Check out the other details that we've included as well in the description to help you live your best, feel your best. And that brings me to the end of today's episode. I'll see you guys in the next for watching. Thank you for cruising with us on this episode of Sabi Cruise. If something we discussed today hits home, don't keep it to yourself. Comment below what resonated with you and share this podcast with your people. Hit the follow button, leave a quick review so that others can find us. Until next time, keep thriving, keep learning, and of course, you Sabi or you know Sabi, you already know we Sabi better.